Hello, everyone. My name is Jeremy Worthy. Unfortunately, I'm unable to be with you today, but thanks to the help of Mark, Rachel, and Torrin, I was able to get this video recorded. So before I started, I just wanted to thank them for their help. Uh, as we focus on enhancing our written communication skills this week, we're asked to consider the 7 C's as a tool to ensure our message say exactly what we intended to say. I'll be covering the first 2 C's, which are completeness and clearness. I like to think of completeness as the foundation of the 7 C's. Completeness gives us the opportunity to establish the purpose of our writing. We ask ourselves questions such as, to whom are we speaking to? What do we want to accomplish? How will I be perceived? These are just a few questions that you want to ask yourself as you begin your writing journey. And yes, I do say it's a journey because that's exactly what we're embarking on as we draft and edit documents the way they have the maximum impact. I also wanted to briefly cover 2 writing strategies in the reading. The first one I want to cover is direct writing. Direct writing entails arranging ideas with the most important information up front. Some organizations call this the bottom line up front. The text says we have about 5 to 10 seconds to hook the reader, and I actually believe this to be pretty accurate. When I worked as an exec for a commander years ago, I went as far as to customize the subject lines with terms like action, info, and suspense date in order to let him know exactly what I needed from him before he even read the email. This allowed him to sift through hundreds of emails he received every day to find out what was most important to accomplish the mission. I also found the indirect bad news to be pretty interesting. While I don't think there are many ways to make someone feel good about bad news, I think there are a lot of ways that poor writing can make it a whole lot worse. The main 2 takeaways from this section were that the readers would write their message in such a way that there's no further communication needed, and also don't rely on vague terms and like the book said, company guidelines and in order to express what you're trying to get over to the reader. Avoiding vagueness actually gets to, avoiding vagueness actually leads me to my second C, which is clearness. Clearness and completeness go together because once we establish our purpose, we can form a complete thought that is tailored to be clear to the reader. We should strive to use familiar words to connect with your audience. As leaders, we often get caught up in bringing the full weight of our knowledge to bear. We want to show people that we're subject matter experts, show the people that we're so knowledgeable. But a lot of times we come across as unrelatable. While reading this section, I actually thought about a scene from the Pirates of the Caribbean where Elizabeth meets Captain Barbossa for the first time. So she's ushered to the Black Pearl, and she says, I'm coming on the ship to negotiate the cessation of hostilities on Port Royal. Barbossa laughs a little bit and says, we're not but humble. There's a lot of long words in here, miss. We're not but humble pirates. What is it that you want? She looks at him and says, I want you to leave and never come back. And he says, I'm disinclined to acquiesce your request. And she stares at him befuddled. He says, it means no, and everybody laughs. Elizabeth in the scene was trying to be sophisticated. She was trying to show that I'm a big person, but in reality, she was using $5 words, like the book said, when she could have used 50-cent words. She was talking to pirates. So lastly, we're advised to avoid technical jargon when unnecessary. I would caution against using technical terms the audience may not be able to keep up with. And follow me for this example. A football coach needs to make sure the offense knows exactly what he wants them to do when he calls the play, for example, red, right, 30, pull, trap. The players need to know that there will be 3 receivers spread across the formation, 2 backs behind the quarterback spread about 2 yards apart. The halfback needs to know to run through the O block, which was the gap between the center and the right guard. The backside guard will need to know that he needs to pull at the exactly right moment to cross over and block the incoming linebacker. Every detail is important to the success of the play, but all the parents in the stands need to know is that their kids ran the ball to the right. Sometimes we can get so caught up in the jargon and sounding sophisticated and explaining it to the, so deep in the weeds, when in reality, the person we're talking to just wants to know which way the play is going. So I'm likely over my time at this point. Thank you all for listening. Hopefully I'll be able to attend a class with you soon and on to the next person in the presentation.